Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're looking at Singapore. It's got this stellar reputation, hasn't it? World-class education, great career opportunities afterwards.
It really does. A major draw for international talent. But there's often this big elephant in the room we found in the sources, the cost.
Right. The perception, anyway, people hear Singapore and think, incredibly expensive, high tuition, cost of living like London or New York.
Exactly. Tuition can be 2, maybe 3 times what locals pay, and living expenses aren't trivial.
It sounds a bit overwhelming, but that's why we did this deep dive, isn't it? We went through the material to find, well, practical ways you can actually study there without completely blowing your budget.
Yeah, and it's not about sacrificing the quality of the experience either. It's about smart strategies. And the first big one that jumped out, financial aid.
Ah, grants and scholarships. You'd think everyone would be applying for those.
You would, but interestingly, our sources pointed out that a surprisingly high number, maybe over 60% of available scholarships, they just go unclaimed each year.
60%. Wow. That's that's a lot of money left on the table. Why is that? Is it just hard to find them?
It seems to be partly awareness, yeah, but also people thinking they won't qualify. Take the MOE tuition grants, for example. These are from the government.
Okay. The Ministry of Education ones.
That's right. They can cover a really big chunk of the fees for non-Singaporeans. There is a condition, though you have to commit to working in Singapore for a few years after graduating.
Okay. But trade-off. Did the sources have examples?
They did. Someone named Asha from Bangalore managed to cut her tuition by more than 60% using one of these
That's
grants.
huge. So beyond those specific government grants.
There are loads of others, merit-based, need-based. We saw a quote from Dr. Lim Wei Hong, an education consultant there. He basically said, just apply. Apply even if you think you don't stand a chance, because so many go unclaimed.
Good advice. Makes sense. Like Ravi P in the source material, right? Applied for 6, got 2.
Exactly, shows persistence pays off. So, for you listening, the clear message is, do your homework early and apply, apply, apply.
Okay, so let's say you've managed to tackle tuition fees somewhat. What about the day-to-day living costs? Housing seems like the big one.
It usually is, yeah. University hostels came up as generally cheaper than renting privately, but the real game changer seemed to be sharing accommodation.
Sharing flats, like
Uh,
with other students.
We saw an example, Divya from Mangalore. She went from spending about SGD 1,000 a month on her own place down to SGD 400 just by splitting the rent 3 ways.
That's a massive saving just by sharing. What about other daily stuff like food and getting around? Singapore is known for being pricey there too.
Well, yes and no. The sources really highlighted hawker centers. You can get fantastic meals for under 5 Singapore dollars. It's a huge cultural thing and, well, incredibly budget friendly.
Okay, hawker centers. Good tip. Transport.
Public transport is the way to go. Efficient, clean, and students can get discounts with an EZ-Link concession pass. Definitely cheaper than taxis or ride sharing all the time.
So smart choices add up. There was a quote about that, wasn't there?
Yeah, Sarah Thomas, an international student mentor, she said something like, living smart is just as important as studying smart. Budgeting, maybe working part-time, sharing costs, it all contributes. She recommended budgeting apps too, like Spendy or Pocket Guard, just to help you keep track.
Right. Which brings us to earning some money. Did the sources talk much about part-time work? Is that feasible for international students?
Absolutely. It's quite regulated, but student pass holders can generally work up to 16.4 hours per week during the semester and full-time during holidays.
Okay, 16.4 hours. What kind of jobs?
Campus jobs were highlighted as particularly good options, library assistant, maybe admin help. They're convenient, flexible around studies, and you save on travel time and costs.
Makes sense. We saw Rakesh from Mysore, right?
Oh.
Used his IT help desk job to cover food and transport.
Exactly. And apparently something like 40% of college students rely on part-time work, so it's quite common.
Were there any other maybe more creative ways the sources mentioned to cut costs, beyond just earning or saving on daily expenses?
Yes. Looking at the actual course structure, things like hybrid or fully online options can sometimes be cheaper, though maybe less common for international students wanting the full experience.
For faster degrees.
Right, shorter or fast-track degrees. A 3-year degree instead of 4 obviously saves a whole year's worth of fees and living costs. We also saw mentions of credit transfers and polytechnics, too.
Polytechnics. How do they fit in?
They offer more applied vocational training. Manori Shetty from UDupi, his story was interesting. He apparently studied for about half the typical university cost by getting into an MOE-subsidized polytechnic program and, again, sharing accommodation. So lots of different angles to consider.
It really sounds like getting that world-class Singapore education without breaking the bank is, well, it's actually possible. It just takes planning and being savvy.
Definitely. It's not about being cheap or missing out. It's about making informed choices, using the strategies we found in the sources. Careful planning, discipline, smart decisions.
So recapping, it's achievable.
hmm
But thinking beyond just the savings, what's the bigger picture here?
Well, that's maybe the most powerful idea to leave you with. Reducing study costs isn't just about the money you save right now. Think about it. It's about gaining independence, isn't it?
Freedom from financial stress.
Exactly. And that freedom can open up other doors. Maybe you can afford an unpaid internship in your field, travel a bit during breaks, or even use that extra bandwidth to start a small side project or business while you study.
So managing your finances effectively actually enhances the entire experience.
Precisely. It gives you options and control, something for you to really consider how these